Have you ever felt like your mind just has a mind of its own? Like you're not really the one in the driver's seat? Well, today we are diving into a really profound, but also beautifully simple idea from the teachings of Acharya Prashant. It's not some complicated technique. It's more like a playful game you can start playing right now, the art of catching your own inner mischief red-handed.
And this quote from Acharya Prashant, it just sets the tone perfectly, doesn't it? It reframes this whole idea of self-awareness. It's not a chore, it's not a heavy burden, it's supposed to be fun. I mean, think about it. There's this amazing sense of discovery when you spot those little automatic reactions, those daydreams, that inner mischief, right as it's happening.
Okay, so first things first. What's the problem we're even talking about here? It's the restless mind. And we all know this feeling, right? It's that inner chaos, that sense that our mind is like a runaway train and we're just along for the ride.
You know the drill. One moment, you're trying to focus on something important, and then boom, you're gone. Your mind has just drifted off, building entire worlds, replaying conversations that never happened, or just wandering aimlessly in some daydream. Yeah, we've all been there.
And then there are the other times. Out of nowhere, this shadow just falls over you. It could be a sudden jolt of anxiety about the future, or maybe it's that quiet, nagging voice of insecurity whispering that you're not good enough. These moods don't even knock, do they? They just barge in and take over the place.
So the end result is this feeling of being completely tossed around on a chaotic sea. You've got external forces, the pressure to succeed, the temptation of some distraction, the fear of failure, and they're all just crashing over you like waves, leaving your mind feeling confused, exhausted, and totally overwhelmed. And all of this inner chaos, it leads to a really fundamental question that Acharya Prashant wants us to ask ourselves. We are constantly acting, reacting, drifting, and lunging from one thing to the next. But how often do we actually stop and ask, why? What is actually driving all this restlessness? The uncomfortable truth? A lot of the time, we have no idea.
So, what's the answer to all this chaos? Well, it's not some complex 20-step mystical technique. No, it's a simple, direct act. It's the act of catching yourself, and it's this powerful little shift in your attention that changes the entire inner game.
And this is the core of it all, self-observation. It sounds simple, and honestly, it really is. It's the skill of just noticing an inner state, that little flash of anger, that creeping anxiety, that wandering fantasy, at the very instant it appears. The key here is you're not trying to fix it or analyze it or judge it. You are just seeing it. That's it.
And here's the beautiful logic behind why this works so well. It's like a domino effect, a powerful chain reaction. The moment you catch a thought, you are, by definition, observing it. And when you observe something that was hiding in your subconscious, you expose it to the light of your own awareness. And according to Acharya Prashant, that simple act of exposure, that's the beginning of freedom.
So how do we actually do this? How do you just watch what's going on inside? Well, Acharya Prashant gives us a really powerful metaphor to help us get it. Think of your attention as a source of light, like a flashlight.
I absolutely love this quote from the source material. It's just so vivid. Our anxieties, our jealousies, our random thoughts, they're like vampires. They have all their power in the darkness, right? When we're not aware of them, when they're operating in the shadows of our mind.
This visual just says it all. In the darkness of an unobserved mind, these tendencies run wild. They're in charge. But the moment you shine that bright light of your conscious attention on them, the second you simply see them for what they are, they can't survive. They just shrivel up, they weaken, and they start to dissolve.
All right, here's another fantastic way to think about this. If the whole vampire analogy isn't quite your thing, try this one on for size. Approach this scientifically. Your own mind becomes your personal laboratory for discovery. So, the crucial point here is this. Just like a biologist understands an organism by observing it under a microscope, we understand our own minds by, well, watching them. The laws of our inner world, they don't come from a book or from belief. They come from direct, clear-eyed observation. And to do this well, we just adopt the principles of any good scientist. First, you observe honestly. No pretending you're feeling or thinking something else. Just see what's actually there. Second, you observe patiently, without needing some instant result. And third, and this one is so important, you observe without any judgment. You're not good or bad for having a thought. You're just the scientist observing the data. So you might be thinking, okay, this sounds interesting, but why does it matter so much? Well, because practicing the simple act of self-observation isn't just a mental workout, it leads to a massive transformation in how you actually experience your life. This is the payoff. This is the whole point.
You see, at the heart of all this inner mischief, the fears, the insecurities, the constant need for approval, is what ShriPrashant calls the ego. You can think of it as that conditioned false self. By observing all these tendencies, you're actually observing the machinery of this ego. And the incredible thing is, the moment it's seen clearly, it starts to lose its power over you.
And what happens when that false self's grip starts to loosen? Well, you get your real self back. You start to reclaim that clear, centered, authentic part of you that was buried underneath all the noise, all the fear, and all the conditioning.
And listen, this is not just some abstract spiritual idea. This has incredibly practical, real-world results. A free mind, one that isn't constantly clouded by fear or lost in fantasy, is a mind that can make clear, sound decisions in the most important areas of your life. Your career, your relationships, your family. And this line from ShriPrashant really just brings it all home. It's that direct. It's that simple. The state of your inner world is not separate from your outer world. It fundamentally creates it. A clear mind leads to a clear life. A chaotic mind, well, it leads to a chaotic life.
Because ultimately, all other kinds of freedom are secondary to this one. You could have all the money and external liberty in the world, but if your mind is a prison of anxiety and compulsion, are you actually free? The idea here is that this inner freedom is the only one that truly fundamentally counts.
So, here it is, the entire practice, distilled down to its powerful essence. Step 1, catch yourself in the act. Step 2, watch yourself without judgment. And step 3, do this relentlessly. Not as a chore, but as a joyful, liberating game. This simple process is the path to freedom.
And so that leaves us with one final question for you to take with you. As you go about the rest of your day, become a playful detective of your own mind. Look for those little moments of fantasy or fear or frustration. What inner mischief will you be the first to spot, to catch red-handed today?